Governments always tell you the same thing. We're working for you. We're building the economy. We're creating prosperity. But when you look a little closer at history, a completely different truth appears. In reality, states have been playing the same game for centuries, making the public poorer while moving power upward. And here's the surprising part. Most of these methods aren't new at all. They've been repeated for hundreds of years. Only the packaging changed, the labels changed, but the intention stayed exactly the same. Let's begin this story with the oldest trick of all. Inflation, Rome's hidden tax. In ancient Rome, when emperors couldn't cover their expenses, they didn't come out and say, "We're raising taxes." Instead, they chose a quieter path. They debased the currency a coin that was once pure silver, slowly turned into a copper core with a thin silver coating, basically a stage prop. The empire pretended everything was normal, but in reality, the value of everyone's money was rotting year by year. The result? Inflation exploded, wages fell behind, and savings evaporated. Roman citizens had no idea this was a tax, because it didn't look like a tax, but it hit harder than one. The Middle Ages and the voluntary loan centuries later, the same trick returned in a different form. When medieval kings needed money, they knocked on merchants' doors and said, "Lending to the crown is an honor." But everyone knew rejecting this honor meant losing your property, paying heavy fines, or even going to prison. Most of these loans were never paid back. The few that were came in the form of devalued money. Same mechanism again. The ruler survives, the people pay. The birth of modern finance, a polished trap. By the 17th century, the stage changed, and the tricks became more sophisticated. When England founded the Bank of England in 1694, the reason wasn't national progress. It was simple. They needed money to fund war with France. Wealthy investors lent money to the government and received guaranteed interest. Who paid that interest? The people. Through higher taxes on everyday essentials, bread, salt, beer, cloth. In short, the rich lent to the state and the poor paid the interest. This system survives today under the name modern finance. Today, shinier, more complex, same game. Now let's jump to the present. Governments borrow and borrow and borrow. Those debts are bought by banks, investors, and huge financial institutions. Politicians tell the public, this spending is for you. But in reality, the money flows into enormous defense contracts, corporate subsidies, and bailout networks. And when the debt bill arrives, taxes go up, money loses value, social programs shrink. Again, the cost returns to the public. The 2008 crisis. A lesson? No. A repeat. In 2008, banks gambled recklessly and lost. By all logic, they should have collapsed. But that didn't happen. Governments saved the system using taxpayer money to rescue the very institutions that caused the disaster. Who lost? Ordinary people drowning in debt. Who won? The same banks. And after the crisis, they became even bigger. That tactic has a simple name. Privatize the gains, socialize the losses. Pension systems, promises. Written on paper. Millions of people trust government-managed retirement systems, but there's a secret. Governments don't actually save that money. They spend it instantly and write IOUs in its place. Today's retirees are paid with today's workers' money. As populations age, the system starts to crack. When that happens, governments quietly raise retirement ages, cut benefits, or let inflation erode payouts. Once again, the burden returns to the people. Complexity, the modern shield. In Rome, the scam was visible in the coin. Today, it's buried under thousands of pages of documents, budgets, regulations, and financial jargon. These systems aren't just for managing the economy. They're for hiding how it actually works. Debt deficits, funds, stimulus packages. Everything is wrapped in complexity, so the average citizen cannot keep up. Complexity is a curtain, and if there's a curtain, there's a show happening behind it. The economics of war, a never-ending cycle. During major wars, governments ask citizens to buy bonds as a patriotic duty. These bonds were safe, profitable, and always paid back. Paid by whom? Future taxpayers. The same pattern continues today. Trillions in war budgets are financed through debt, meaning today's decisions become tomorrow's burdens. And the greatest trick of all, ignorance. What keeps this system running isn't just state power, it's public unawareness. A society that doesn't understand economics falls into the same traps over and over. They think inflation is fate, taxes are inevitable, debt is normal. But history makes one thing crystal clear. Same game, different century, same trap, different packaging. So, what's the answer? Real power.